Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. I don't always tell you what you want to hear, but I tell you what you need to hear to make informed decisions. And guys, you got to be careful who you listen to. And if you watch my videos and you don't think I have merit of what I say, hey, find someone that will tell you like it is and shoot you straight. Don't listen to people that just keep telling you what you want to hear. And if that's working for you, right? If your portfolio is up 2-3x in a third of the way through this bull run like it should be, hey, keep listening to those people. But you got to ask yourself, guys, if you've been losing money and we're a third of the way into the bull run, you might have a bad strategy or listening to the wrong people, or you don't understand the game. And that is what this video is primarily about. Now I want you to check something out. This is the chart of Solana, one of the best performing projects, whether you love it or hate it, in this bull run. There's not a person out there that wished they wouldn't have bought Solana when it got down to like $8. But most people didn't. But then when it got to $100, all of a sudden you got the bit boys of the world and every influencer out there pumping it, calling for $1,000 Solana. Now you got a lot of people that are tribal coming out with the hate. Now, that's what this video is all about. Now, bear with me, right? I've been noticing when I scroll along, and it started with this video right here. It's called Exposing Solana, Everything They Didn't Want You to Know, right? And it's DB Crypto if you want to watch that video. Guys, he's a very smart guy, and I'm even going to give him the fact that, okay, you're correct. But that's what we're going to talk about. Where he sees it as a negative, I see it as an extreme positive. And as you see on the screen, this is old Jerry, the ICP. He obviously thinks ICP is going to rule the world because he believes if you build it and it's better, they will come. Well, that's where the manipulation comes in. He's manipulating you. ICP manipulated him. But guess what, guys? I have a different perspective. Because you know why I don't believe that ICP is the future? And I don't believe it will ever make a new all-time high? Because it's already manipulated people. 99% of everyone that has bought ICP in its history has lost money. A lot of people got rich. Now, they're very legit now, in my opinion. But here's the problem. Wall Street and the big boys, the whales and all those guys, they don't have an advantage to go in to buy the so-called best tech. No one cares. Wall Street doesn't care what's the best tech. They want the best tech that they can control and manipulate. And if they can't do it, that will not rule the world, whether we like that or not. That's an absolute fact. So, when I see charts like this, I want to be long that token, right? Go look at the ICP token. Go look at ADA token, which if I've read that right, that's kind of how he was trying to promote ADA against Solana. I could be wrong. I fast forwarded that because I don't care. I take it for granted. Every single token out there is manipulated. There's not a foundation. There's not a corporation. There's not a group of developers that haven't manipulated their project for them to win. Guys, we don't get a say. No one cares that XRP is your favorite, or ICP is your favorite, or Quant's your favorite, or Casp is your favorite, or Sol's your favorite. It's irrelevant. We don't really get a say. Outside of Bitcoin, everything has been manipulated from the get-go. Now, I will say this about Caspa. It's the most grassroots project there is, but look, know this. No matter what, when it's all said and done, whether Caspa makes it or it doesn't make it, the founders And the early investors and the early developers, guys, they're already financially set for whatever that's worth. And that's one of the best projects out there, in my opinion. But it's still, if you don't take profits in this bull run, you're still going to regret it. But let's move on. Let's talk about manipulation, guys. Everything's manipulation. Our election, even in America, is manipulated. Our news is manipulated. Influencers manipulate you in a lot of different ways. They tell you what you want to hear every day, and you keep coming back, right? Doesn't matter if it's true. You believe it's true. You want it to be true, and they grow their channel, right? This type of video, why I keep making them, is not to grow my channel. Trust me. The reason I keep making them, because they don't get a lot of views, they get a ton of hate, is because, guys, I'm here for the people that want to learn, that want to put in the time and educate themselves. So they'll try to get as close to a guarantee, or at least give the probabilities of them being successful in the biggest opportunity in history. They're not just reading headlines. They're not going back to the same influencer that is tribal, that will tell them anything, which they will believe, right? They're manipulating you. And then you have the other influencers that have, 100,000, 500,000, 1 million followers, and they get paid by developers and tokens for like the ICOs. They can buy the dip, then they shield the token. It pumps 30, 40, 70, sometime a 2 or 3x just because of them. And then they take profits. And that's all good, guys, no matter what. I don't judge anyone. You know why? Because I understand the game. For instance, we'll talk about ICP and ADA. Great projects, but poor Jerry believes if you build it, they will come. Well, I got news for you. Doesn't matter what Jerry thinks. Doesn't matter what I think. Doesn't matter what you think. And Wall Street is not who does move the market. So in 10 years, I can almost guarantee you this, and I know this will age well, and I don't like it, but I don't fight it, especially with my money. I said this 2.5 years ago when I started my channel. The legacy banks, Wall Street, and the governments, primarily the U.S. government, pick winners and losers, and they will dominate crypto, especially when you get into the flow of money, when you get into DeFi and staking, onboarding and offboarding. They're going to dominate. And guys, we can see it every day if you just take a look at what they're doing. See, no one knows. They believe that the biggest players are the ones that we talk about. I'll use Ripple and XRP, and I know I say that a lot and I get a ton of hate. But hear me out, guys. People tell you, oh, they have all these bank partnerships. They have this, they have that. Well, compare them to FIS Global. Compare them to JP Morgan. Compare them to Galaxy Digital. And you'll realize, wow, they're not even in the game, right? That's a fact. It's not FUD, guys. You got to understand. I truly believe the SEC Ripple case was brought by the legacy banks. I truly believe that when that tech came out in like 2015 and 16 and 17, when the banks started getting proposition with instant settlement and all that, those banks were like, holy crap, man, this is what? What are they talking about? They picked up the phone, and most of the conversation ended up at JP Morgan. I truly believe that, with Jamie Dimon. I got it. He called the White House, and the White House said, well, what do you want us to do? He goes, I want you to put them out of business or slow them down till we can pay catch up and get the same technology. Well, that's exactly what happened. Now, JP Morgan, FIS Global, all the power players have instant settlement. SWIFT isn't there yet, but they have the roadmap to do it. So it doesn't matter what happens to that court case, because the dominant players that were dominating the flow of money and payments are still dominating, and they're gaining ground. So it doesn't matter, right? I don't like that, right? Guys, I hated Ethereum when I first got into crypto. Hated it. But then I found out who created MetaMask and how it was linked to JP Morgan. And that led me to the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance with Google and Microsoft and IBM and etc. and all the power players. And I went, my God, this technology is going to be dominated by the same damn people. And that decentralization that we all love, and like Jerry on ICP likes to harp on, no one wants decentralization. No one cares, right? Guys, we all have money in the banks for 1,000 years, right? No one wants decentralization. No one wants to send $1 million, $10 million, $1 billion that's totally decentralized. If you send me $1 million, would you really do that right now? Would you send me, if you were going to buy my house, and let's say it's $1 million, and I tokenize it on the blockchain, and you tokenize your $1 million, and all we got to do is hit a button. Are you going to do that? I'm not. Because what happens if you don't get my deed and I get your $1 million? Or you get my deed and I don't get your $1 million? Who are we going to call? No one. And that's where you see like Wall Street come in, right? When people send billions of dollars, they want it. They want a safety net. They want someone to call. If we do that transaction, let's just say hypothetically in a couple of years, well, right now you can do it, tokenized assets with Galaxy Digital, doesn't have a token. But if we do that on their rails and it doesn't go through, they're insured to $1 billion. We call them. You'll get my deed and I'll get your $1 million. That's the future, guys. And the whole point about this is, and I don't know if I said this because I've had to redo this video because I get on my high horse. ICP and ADA, phenomenal projects, but they're not going to make people life-changing gains. And I don't think they are going to dominate the future of crypto or Web3. Why? Well, hear me out. Don't be tribal. Just relax. Hear me out. Because of manipulation, right? Follow the money. Follow the manipulation. Wall Street can't get in on ICP and have an advantage over me or you, right? They're not going to go that route. Wall Street is not going to dive into XRP and cross-border payments no matter what they tell you. Why? Because it allows Ripple to have the advantage on them because they have half the supply. They want to reverse that. It's all about manipulation, and it's a game, and no one cares about us, guys. We don't get a say. But if you understand the game, you'll love Solana. Guys, I missed the boat. Solana was literally my biggest bag, and I stacked all during the bear market. But because of where it was at the time, yes, I bought it under 20. I bought it all the way down. But when it started to rally, there was still people saying, rightfully so, including me, that the whole reason Solana did this was because of FTX. And so when it got back to about $60, my average price was like 58. I sold because I said I can deploy this money somewhere else. Yes, hindsight, I should have held it for another 3 or 4 or 5 months and then sold out. But I was thinking I can take that money and put it to work, which that money's been doing well. And so I said, well, if it's at $60, it's got to double its all-time high to 10x. That's not why I'm in crypto. That's why I got out. Again, hindsight. But here's the thing, guys. You got to understand manipulation. And once you understand the game, you'll easily take profits. I heard someone in my comments say, Ray, you tell people to take profits all the time. They're just picking up nickels and dimes, and they're going to pass on dollars. Guys, there is no project out there outside of probably Bitcoin that you can expect an all-time high in bull run after bull run after bull run. Go back. to 2017, which I made a video and I'll leave a link down at the end, where out of the top 100 projects in 2017, less than 20 made a new all-time high. I think it was 15. I can't remember, but I'll leave a link, right? Your favorite project back in 2017 and 18, XRP, XLM, Uniswap, no new all-time high. Very few projects are going to make a new all-time high in the next preceding bull run. That's just a fact. And guys, in 2017, for instance, in payments, there was zero competition. Zero. Fast forward 2021, there was maybe 2 or 3 more competitors. Now, there's 10,000 players in payments. And that's just an example. So everything is going to get more competitive. Guys, in the last bull run, we had like 17,000 tokens. Now we have 2.5 million tokens. So the point about all that is, guys, and I know I'm rambling, but hear me out. It's manipulation. And the big boys are in now. But these dips, if they're not already in and taking profits, which is why we normally get the dip, see, they stacked in the bear market. Then they create some kind of buzz. Then once that buzz gets really hyped up, especially before altcoin season, you got to think, wait a minute. I got a 2x, I got a 5x, I got a 10x, right? When your wallet starts to pump, think about it. We know that the smart money, the big money, has already got in. And now you're getting such a buzz, just like the XRP announcement, for instance, that's coming. Well, now you're getting so much movement, they can start dumping, right? See, they can't go into these small markets. There's no liquidity. But they can go into Solana. They can go into XRP, right? They can go into Doge and Pepe and WIF because it can handle it. So that's what they do, guys. They manipulate. They get in early. They create buzzes. The market starts to pump. They just start feeding it as much as they can. Market pulls back. We're all going, oh my God, you start seeing these manipulation videos. Guys, who cares? If there was no manipulation, and if the big money and the manipulators couldn't front run, then there wouldn't be a lot of big money in the world. Because, guys, we are a blip. No one cares if we use Solana. No one cares if we use Ethereum. Wall Street's going to use Ethereum. The big boys are using Ethereum. Even though, as a group of retail, obviously we are moving Solana. But mining your wallet is irrelevant. You got to understand that, guys. And when you talk about manipulation, now hear me out, and I say this with love. I don't care how good your favorite project is. No one cares what you think. And if Wall Street doesn't love it, or the governments, or the legacy banks don't love it because they can manipulate it, it will not be the future. You want to see the future? Look at Base, no token. Look at TON. How did TON come out and explode to all the transactions they do? Because they have millions and millions and millions of users, and they have a reserve of, what is it, 7 or, well, I forget, what is it, 2.3 billion people use Telegram. They have the customers, right? You got to understand that, guys. These little companies are not going to come in and take away the customers. When you talk about tokenized assets, I know I'm rambling, but hear me out. Talk about tokenized assets. If you think that one of these small no-name projects, or maybe a large project, is going to dominate tokenized assets, and they don't have the customers, you're out of your mind. BlackRock, 11 trillion under management. If they tokenize their customers, what blockchain do they choose? Ondo and Ethereum. They will dominate real-world assets. That's a fact. Just BlackRock alone. JP Morgan, right behind them. I think they have 7, 8, 9 billion under management. plus all the banks they're linked to around the world. Because people don't understand, not only is JP Morgan a legacy bank, it's kind of like the banker's bank. Like when people say, oh, look at all the partnerships that Ripple has with the banks. Now, hear me out on this, and I'm not harping on Ripple. I just want you to understand the big picture. Think about this. JP Morgan bought 396 banks a year and a half ago from the Fed in a day. They own more banks, like a 5x more banks around the world than Ripple has a partnership. And guess what? Every partnership that Ripple or anyone has a partnership in some way, shape, or form with Ripple. Let's talk about Fed now. Talk about manipulation. What do you think they're doing? They want to take over and control and dominate payments, especially inside America. And when people say, oh, my favorite project is going to dominate and they can link somehow XRP to it, well, know this, guys, and I don't like this. This is just the fact. JP Morgan owns like 39.7% of the Fed. What rails do you think they're going to use? Think about that, guys. All they got to do is go get one or two other partners like a Goldman Sachs who owns like 9%. That puts them over the edge. They can vote out the Fed today. They can vote in their own rails. They can do whatever they want. They can control the Fed for the most part. So what rails do you think there's going to be? It's going to be Wall Street rails. The same people you hate are going to control everything. And when you start watching videos talking about the whiny baby manipulation and this is better, it's more decentralized, it's more fair, no one gives a shit. We don't get to say, guys, it's not fair. It's 100% manipulation. Now I'm going to quit ranting. Here's what I want you to understand about this rant. If it can't be manipulated, it's probably not going to be the future. As bad as that sounds, it's the truth. So get behind it, understand it, and here's what it tells you the most, and I can't reiterate this enough. Guys, because everything's manipulated, because everything's BS, and because we don't know what the future looks like, take your profits. Take your profits. Now, I want you to think about you hodlers. Hear me out. Go check XRP out. People own 7 years. 7 years. Almost everyone I know that's been in crypto for 7 years are at least a millionaire. At least. Except who? The XRP army. They're broker than they were 7 years ago. Guys, you don't understand the game. And if you understand it, you make money. You got a good chance at making money. Now think about this too, guys. For the life of me, it's called opportunity cost. You don't bury something for 10 years and hope it does a 10x or 15x or 20x. Heck, it has to do a 5x after 10 years to keep up with the S&P. So when your wallet starts to swell, if you got $5,000 in crypto and it gets to 25,000, take out your 5, take out 10. That way you doubled your money no matter what. And then when it pumps and altcoin season's here and everyone is telling you you're an idiot for selling, that is your cue. And watch this channel. We'll be getting out. That's my goal for sure. Because guys, why would anyone want to watch $5,000 turn into 25, 35, 45, maybe 100? Heck, there'll be some people literally catch the right projects and make $1 million. And then you're going to hodl? Watch it come back to $2,200, $1,500, and then sit there for 3 years and pray that there's not any new technology comes out, that your favorite tribal token is still there. Guys, and think about this. If you start with 5 and it goes to 100, for instance, and you capture half of that, you're starting the next bull run with 50. Because this is a fact. Historically, every single token has dropped minimum 85% from its all-time high. All of them, including Bitcoin. And I truly believe Bitcoin's going to change after this. I don't think there's any $50,000 Bitcoin at the end of this bull run. Could be wrong. But take your favorite project, go back to what it was priced at 6 months ago or priced at now, no matter how high it runs. XRP, let's say it does hit a new all-time high. $5, $10, whatever. Who cares? If you're not smart enough to take profits, you don't have a chance, guys. You don't have a chance. I say that with love. Anyway, the rant's over. But look, all these people that want to make videos of talk about manipulation, the world is manipulation. That's all it is. And in crypto, the people that can manipulate are manipulating, and they're making money off of you, whether it's growing their channel telling you lies and getting you to hodl, or if it's front running you, or if it's they created their own token so they can dump on you at any time, right? It's just manipulation. Your market makers, the bots, it's all manipulation. Those damn bots make money off of every single, no matter how fast you trade, you trade on the 1 second bar and they front run you. Okay, but they pinch you a penny here, but they do it all day, every day. They're bots. Just deal with it. Solana, let's go back to the original part. I'm going to let you go, I promise. Solana, I don't know if it is the future. A lot of people would argue the fact, and I did a video a while back saying it wasn't. But then when they came out with, Blinks, and now they have another thing talking about like emails and instant settlement with you just send an email, I'm not so sure. And the big money can manipulate and got in early on Solana. So there's a good chance they keep pumping it. But here's the point, guys. No matter what, how do you cut down one of the best performing projects out there? Are you not here for the money? You're here to be tribal? Do you care about the tech? Because for the life of me, heck, I've owned property down at the beach that I love, but I damn sure sold it. Right? I mean, I've had cars I love. I sold them. There's nothing that I will ever own as an investment or that's an asset or whatever that I won't sell at the right price. Don't be tribal, guys. Why do you care? Hey, I'm attached to some of these projects. I do so much research. They're so legit. They can change the world, but I'll drop them on a dime and I'll never talk about them. You got to be that way, guys, because I got news for you. The competition is absolutely brutal, and I truly believe, this is the last thing I'm going to say because I'm getting tired. I truly believe once we figure it out and you get the adoption and you get, like, say, Solana firing on all cylinders or whatever it is, Joe's new blockchain that does 10 million transactions per second, whatever, and we have regulation, well, then you want to see manipulation. You're going to see Wall Street and the legacy banks and the government come in, duplicate that technology, regulate that technology that regulates us out, or whatever blockchain may be making it, they're going to regulate it out. They're going to pass biased laws that guarantee the JP Morgans of the world keep dominating. Guarantee that you still somehow, some way have to be using a damn bank for the average person. That's just the way the world works. But if you understand it, this is the biggest opportunity in history for the average person to change their financial future. But you can't be listening to these whiny babies that tell you it's fair, that tell you build it, they will come, and the best tech wins because they're out of their goddamn mind. And I say that with love. Anyway, that's all I got. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And guys, I do coaching one-on-one. It's only $250 for 3 Zoom or phone calls. And guys, we'll answer all questions. Take a look at your portfolio. But the biggest thing I think I do is to help you get a game plan and get you a way to compare one project to the other. Because here's the thing I see, guys. People are using the wrong metrics. The tech matters this much. Because this is technology, guys. It's just like a Ford, a Chevy, a Toyota. Yeah, Toyota's the best, but they don't have the government contracts for construction, so they don't sell as many. See my point? That's how the world works. You got to understand the metrics, and the metrics is adoption and transactions and hype, actually straight a sexy narrative. All that is way more important than the best tech. The best tech probably will not win unless it is owned or can be manipulated by the banks, the governments, or Wall Street. You can take that to the bank. It's not financial advice. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Hit that like button. If you disagree, hit the unlike button. It's all good. But either way, subscribe and come back and be part of this community. Take care.